Hey brother, in this video I want to talk to you about the importance of offering safety and security to your wife and the people you care about in your life without disowning yourself, without dismissing yourself, without disregarding yourself, without disrespecting yourself, without denying who you are and who you like to be. Hi, I'm Charlie McKeever, your Happy Man coach, and this is my Happy Man coaching channel, and I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here today. So on this journey, my own personal growth journey, I have learned that safety and security is hugely important to all of us. Everyone, everybody, you included, me included, safety and security is important. We want to know that we can lay our head down at night and that we can be okay. We want to know that we can go out and enjoy the sunlight and that we're not going to get eaten by bears. Or we want to know that we're going to be okay. We also want some variety, we want some adventure, we want some curiosity and some play, and we want to be able to have some fun. And so what I've learned along the way is that, about myself, is that, that I was at odds with that for a long time. I actually I grew up valuing more of a send it mentality, more of a get her done, more of a assertiveness, and more of a don't be lazy, just move and do things and get things done. And then at some point I joined the Marines. I went into the Marines at 17, and I learned there that you don't go around the mountain, you go through the mountain. And so that really added fuel to that fire. Send it, screw it. Like, I'm not going to wait. Let's just do it. Let's just get her done. And I valued that. I thought that was a really good attribute. I thought that other people would value that as well. I thought that it was about being assertive, and it was about being, in charge, and it was about getting things done. And what I learned, though, along the way is that if that's applied just wholesale, right? If you just mash the accelerator and go, that it disregards, it dismisses, it doesn't take into consideration that there's other passengers in the car, right? I'm using a lot of analogies here, but imagine for just a moment, you're hauling down the highway at 80 miles an hour, 80, 90 miles an hour maybe. It just depends on the road you're on. Maybe you're on a road here in Austin, there's actually a road that's 80 miles an hour is the speed limit. And you've got the steering wheel, you've got the brake, you've got the accelerator, and you're fine, right? You're zipping in and out of cars, changing lanes, moving pretty quickly, and you feel fine. The day is good, the sun is shining, everything's okay, right? You feel like you're completely in control, and there's nothing wrong. Meanwhile, your passenger in the other seat might be gripping the door handle. They may not be feeling as comfortable because they don't have a steering wheel, they don't have an accelerator or a brake. They're actually dependent on you. And so this is where we start to talk about personal power. This is where we start to talk about self-awareness. This is where we start to realize that yes, send it, assertiveness, taking charge, getting stuff done is a positive attribute, but we also have to be self-aware and take into consideration that there are other people in the room, and that sometimes our behavior is going to impact, maybe even adversely impact other people. Now, we can get into the fact that they're having their own experiences, and they have their own thoughts about that, and they have their own feelings about their own thoughts, and you're not really doing anything to them, and your intentions are good, and you're not really trying to be a bad person, and all that kind of stuff. But the fact still remains that we have a personal responsibility, that we have some awareness, that we have some accountability, that we get to choose who we want to be. And yes, we want to be assertive, and yes, we want to take charge, and we want to get stuff done, but do we really want to be somebody who just makes other people uncomfortable without any regard for them? Do we want to be someone that they feel like they can't trust, that they won't be heard, that we won't listen to them, that we'll dismiss or disregard what they have to say because we think everything's fine? But also, do we want to be a person who dismisses and disregards ourselves, disowns ourselves, basically tamps down and tries to please everyone in order to get along, in order for everyone else to be okay? Is there ever a good time for us to just dismiss who we are in order for someone else's comfort to be secured? And so this is where the kind of conversations we have in the community of men that I'm in, we start to talk about these things. In fact, I want to tell you a little bit of a story before I tell you about that community. I want to tell you about a recent story that happened this holiday season my son and I were putting lights on the house, and we've come to do this every year. It's kind of become our thing. And my son's 24 now, and so he's experienced a lot of life with me as somebody who likes to send it, who likes to get things done, who doesn't really like things to get in his way, and who kind of just wants to be as effective or as efficient as possible. So my son and I are going to put these lights on the house. We have a 2-story house, and so at some point we have to climb up on the roof and put these lights on the house. Now we've done it a couple of, for several years, many years in a row. We've lived in this house for 10 years, and so it's nothing new. But there's always kind of this discussion of how we're going to do it. What's the plan? And I generally like to fly by the seat of my pants, right? Like, I don't know, I'll just kind of figure it as I go. I'll see an opportunity and I'll just go for it. So this year, he's got these lights, this bundle of lights in his hand, and he says, okay, so what are we doing? Do we want to get the ladder? How do we want to get up here? And so the side of the house, the lowest part of the roof, actually lines up with my RV. I've got a little 24-foot RV. It's parked on the side of the house, and generally what I like to do is I climb up the back ladder of the RV, and I climb up onto the top of the roof of the RV, and then I climb up the roof of the house. And that's kind of the most efficient way to do it without getting the ladder out and getting a bunch of other things involved, and so I go for that. Well, this time we have a faux fence that's on the end of that RV. It's kind of a part of the neighborhood, ordinance to have the back end of the RV covered, even if it's sitting in the driveway. And so he says, well, do you want to drop the fence? I didn't want to get the ladder, so do you want to drop the fence? And I was like, I really don't want to drop the fence. It's not that big a deal, but I just don't want to. So I look at him, and I looked at the lights, and I said, here, just hand me the lights. He hands me the lights, and I toss them up onto the lowest corner of the roof. So now the lights are up there, and I look at those, and I look at him, and he's looking at me, and I turn to the RV, and I go up the side of the RV. I don't even drop the fence. I'm not going up the ladder like a normal person. I'm just kind of like on the side of the RV, on the side of the ladder, and just climbing up the support bars that have the ladder, and just going. I've done this many times. I always check how well those bars are holding to make sure that there's not any sort of danger of the ladder coming loose from the RV before I start hauling, up there. But I've done this many times, and so this is the route that I take, and I get up on top of the RV. And so he looks at that, and he's like, okay, right? He's like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. So he makes his way up there. He kind of shimmies up the side of the RV as well. And it's not his idea, so he makes the best of it as he gets up there. And we're on the roof of this house, and so I'm just like I'm just walking up the roof of the house, the incline of the house. It's a steep pitch. I'm walking up there. I got the lights. I'm kind of stringing them out as I go. I just really want to get this done. I don't want to spend all day up there, and it's not that complicated, and we've done it many times, so I just kind of want to get it done. And so he kind of looks at me and he says, now I know you're a young 52, but maybe we could just take it easy just a little bit. Right? Let's take our time on this. And I sort of laugh a little bit, right? This is his 24-year-old genteel way of telling me that I'm making him nervous. And I laugh and I say, okay, yeah, I get you. I hear you. I'm making you a little nervous, huh? And he says, yeah, he says, I know you like to get things done. You just kind of like to send it, but I'm also concerned that, I don't want you to hurt yourself, and I don't want, I want this to be a good day. I don't want either of us to fall off the roof, And I'm like, yep, fair. Okay, I understand. I get it. And so this opens up a conversation where I tell him, I say, growing up when I was a kid, we valued independence a lot. My parents valued independence a lot. There was a lot of outlaw country played in my home, and a lot of music about don't tell me what to do, and I don't want anything to stand in my way, and like independence. And in fact, in this country, in America, we celebrate Independence Day every year. And so I like I said before, I really took on this assertiveness, this get her done, was something that should be valued, something that should be celebrated, something that people would appreciate. But I've actually also come to learn that it can be unnerving, it can be unsettling. And I have decided that I am a man who gets things done but also cares for others, also is self-aware, also recognizes when my choices start to unsettle, make someone that I care about and love feel unsafe, and that I can hear their feedback without taking it personally, that I can hear what they're really trying to say to me is that I'm feeling a little unsure right now, that I'm feeling a little unsafe right now, and I need you to help me with that. I need you to be in partnership with me on that. And so this is where I've come to in my journey, and I want to invite you into a conversation about that for you. I want to invite you into my men's community. It's actually called Your Men's Group. It's not my men's group, it's your men's group. It's all of our men's group. And this is where we talk about these types of things. It's all part of the Happy Man community. It's part of the coaching I do with men, where we talk regularly about who we want to be, where we become self-aware, where we start to recognize that we have some personal power, we have agency and ownership over our life, and that we can make choices about who we want to be without disowning ourselves, without telling ourselves that we're doing something wrong, or that somehow we're bad, or it's bad to be us, that it's not good to be us. That we can value ourselves, we can value who we are and who we enjoy being without disregarding the people in our life that we care about. So this is what I want to invite you into today. I want you to go to happymancoaching.com/contact. I want you to fill out that contact form. I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life. What kind of things are you experiencing? What are you at odds with within yourself, with others? What seems to be the thing that you would like to see that it be different? What would you like to experience differently? What would you like to think differently? What would you like to do differently? What do you want more of? What do you want less of, right? These are all the types of things that you can put into that form. Tell me what you'd like to talk about when we get together on the phone. We'll do that. We'll get together for an hour. You'll talk, I'll listen, I'll ask questions. And from that conversation, we'll come up with a plan of how you can experience something different, how you can be you, and how you can also care for and provide safety and trust and security for the people that you love in your life, how you can create intimacy and closeness in your relationships without losing yourself. All right, brother, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.